Well, friends, today I'm excited to break the news to you. If you may not know, the UK Supreme Court has overruled and settled the question, what is a woman?
The UK Supreme Court has answered one of the pressing questions in the British Isles: what is a woman? An 88-page ruling marked the end of a legal battle between the Scottish Government and the campaign group for Women Scotland.
For those who may not know what I'm referring to or I'm talking about, let me give you a little bit of context. In 2022, a movie or a documentary came out. And in that documentary, Matt Walsh was on a journey to find a simple answer to a simple question. What is a woman? He traveled throughout America. He even went to Africa. But it seems like in most of the states of America, he was not able to find a simple answer to that simple question. And this is normal. Why? Because there's an agenda. There's a war against the tradition of family. And especially because of the LGBTQ plus movement or this ideology of transgenderism. And this is extremely important, I believe. Why? Because transgender people are requiring people to call them women, and especially those who transition from male to female. What a nonsense. But today, the question has been answered. What is a woman?
The unanimous decision of this court is that the terms woman and sex in the Equality Act 2010 refer to a biological woman.
Well, friends, I think we need to rejoice. But let us not rejoice too long. This is a battle which has been won. The war is ongoing.
Women's rights are human rights.
They may think this is a victory, but judges stress there are no winners and no losers. This decision is far from the end of the story.
Actually, there's a war against the tradition of family. And Ben Carson gave us a snapshot of what is going on. Just pay attention to what he has to say.
Fundamental building block of a great nation is the family. And what does the Bible say about the family and how important it is? Think about in Genesis 2, where the Lord says, "It is not good that man should be alone, and I will make for him a helpmeet." And it says in that chapter also, male and female he created. Doesn't say anything about anything else. And there is actually a scientific reason for that, because the last I checked, those were the only combination capable of producing offspring. You know, it's interesting that there's so much argumentation about that these days. You know, what is a woman? We knew what a woman was for thousands of years. All of a sudden, we don't know what a woman is. There does seem to be a war on the traditional family. And what is interesting is, if you go back to the congressional record from January the 10th, 1963, it read into the congressional record were the goals for communists in the United States of America. And there were 45 of them. Now let me read a few of them. Like goal number 17, get control of the schools. Use them as transmission belts for socialism and current communist propaganda. Soften the curriculum, get control of teachers' associations, put the party line in textbooks. 18, gain control of all student newspapers. 19, use student riots to foment public protests against programs or organizations which are under communist attack. 20, infiltrate the press. Get control of book review assignments, editorial writing, policy-making positions. Number 21, gain control of key positions in radio, TV, and motion pictures. And then down to number 24, eliminate all laws governing obscenity by calling them censorship and a violation of free speech and free press. Break down cultural standards of morality by promoting pornography and obscenity in books, magazines, motion pictures, radio, and television. 26, present homosexuality, degeneracy, and promiscuity as normal, natural, and healthy. And then number 28, eliminate prayer or any phase of religious expression in the schools on the grounds that it violates the principles of separation of church and state. Discredit the American Constitution by calling it inadequate, old-fashioned, out of step with modern needs, a hindrance to cooperation between nations and on a worldwide basis. Discredit the American founding fathers, present them as selfish aristocrats who had no concern for the common man. Goals number 40 and 41. Discredit the family as an institution, encourage promiscuity and easy divorce, emphasize the need to raise children away from the negative influence of parents, attribute prejudices, mental blocks, and retarding of children to suppressive influence of parents. Isn't that interesting that so many of those are things that are going on in our society right now?
Well, friends, we know that the devil is working. If he's able to destroy the traditional family, he's going to destroy society. Why? Because society is composed of different homes. I mean, different families. So he knows what he's doing. He's aiming at the root because he wants to uproot the tree. Guys, let us be on God. Let us pay attention, care for our children, care for their education, because it starts there. If they're able to introduce false ideology in their minds, we have to understand that we are lost. And I would like to call upon men. Let us stand, guys. Let us wake up and care for the family. Stand as men. Be the kind of man God has called us to be. May God bless you.